Some mornings I still wake up feeling like I'm behind, but then I realize that nothing good in my life ever showed up on schedule. It's hard, but you have to trust your timeline. I've noticed, at least in my life, that time speeds up and slows down. And I've learned what you think the timeline should be almost never is. And if you let go a little, it usually turns out even better than you planned. Sometimes the way you get there looks like failure. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it takes you in a direction you never would have imagined. But you grow the most during these times, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. When I was 30, it felt like nothing I wanted was even close to happening. And now 5 years later, almost everything I dreamed about back then has happened. I'm building a whole new dream life now, and even that is unfolding in ways I couldn't have planned. But I've learned to trust completely in the timing of my life. Well, almost completely. Sometimes it's hard, but one of my favorite affirmations I ever read is, life is beautiful, and you have time. It's something I have to remind myself of every day because I'm wired to overwork. I used to do 12 or 14-hour days thinking that's what success was. And my life back then was nowhere near what I wanted it to be. It wasn't until I started choosing rest, trusting my nervous system, learning to work from a grounded place, allowing myself to be more in my natural feminine energy, that everything started falling into place. And the craziest part is, I actually achieve more now by doing less. Not because I force it, but because I'm aligned. Good morning. Today I thought I would share one of my routines that I always go back to when I'm feeling like life is a little bit stagnant, like something that I'm manifesting or calling in feels a little bit stuck. What I've generally noticed in my life is when I'm pushing and pushing and working and trying to resolve the stuckness with moreness, like doing more work and all of the things that we do. Like, it's my natural default to do that based on what I learned when I was a child from my parents, honoring or thinking that working hard was the best approach. And in my life, I've found personally that it just hasn't been. I've been calling in some big things and my life has been getting busier and busier, and it's good kind of busy and I'm grateful for it. But this morning I've got a huge to-do list work-wise, but I thought instead of just going ahead and getting straight up and having breakfast and whatnot and going straight into the office, I thought I would have a slower morning and really intentionally take my time and slow down and start work a little bit later, because time and time again, my life has shown me that slowing down to speed up is so true. It's hard though. It's so hard, and it's something that we constantly have to remind ourselves of, because basically everything in our world will tell us the opposite. I think it's like building a trust muscle. Like, you have to go into this with complete trust and then keep reminders. Like, if you keep a reminder in your phone or in your journal, if you had like a page just dedicated to this, so whenever you're feeling doubtful, that slowing down or taking your time to recalibrate your nervous system is the better choice, or isn't the better choice. If you're feeling a little bit confused about it, you can just look at this, I guess, like trust folder and go back through and be reminded of every time that it did work out when you kind of like let it go. Like, you let your tight grip on the manifestation or the opportunity or someone texting you back to come in, and you just went and did something else and let the energy settle. I'm going to go for a walk with William, my husband. Miami is generally sunny, like all year round. Well, as long as I've lived here, which I moved here at the end of hurricane season, so I don't know what I'm in for when that's approaching, which is soon. Today has been hectic thunderstorms. We lost power just before, and it was honestly really hard for me to film this video because of the noise of the rain and the thunder. And I've been attempting to start this YouTube channel for literally years. Things have always gotten in the way. Things externally and then also things internally, which I suppose are limiting beliefs or blocks that I've had around doing this channel for some reason. And I know one of them was I felt like my house wasn't set up or wasn't perfect enough to start filming. We moved here in October last year, so how long is that? Maybe like 6 months, just over 6 months ago. And when we first moved in, I was like full steam ahead with decorating, but I had to I didn't have to, I chose to put the brakes on that completely, because things with my business, Mode the Method, started to take off. And I decided it would be better to, rather than invest in homewares and different things for the house, start putting it back into our business so it could grow a lot faster. Since we launched Mode, which was last August, so it's still a little baby, and I've got to think of it like a little baby. I can, again, get so ahead of myself and think I should be at the finish line again already, but it's like a business is new to me. Like, my background is in healing and health. I was an acupuncturist before I did all this social media stuff, and my passion and obsession is still in the wellness world. But since starting this business, I've become really interested in learning about how to do that and sort of learning on the job and reading everything I can about it. Since I've started making decisions for the business, I feel like it's just been flourishing, and I want to keep doing that. And I mean, my house is still set up, but it's not finished. And I think so many of us can relate to that. And I know that people ask me questions about starting Instagram or like social media in general, and they have so many blocks or barriers to just starting. And honestly, just do it. This is me talking to myself with all of the weird blocks and things that happened today with the thunderstorm, or this not being perfect or that not being perfect. I just don't want to let it get in my way anymore. So I decided to just make today work, or make this filming or this vlog work, no matter what. Maybe let's go and see if Navi, how would you say it in America? N-A-V-I, Navi. The coffee shop, you know, the one with the flowers and the pistachio milk.
Sorry, I'm so used to going Panther coffee because it's my shit.
Yeah, I don't know if the coffee at Navi is that good, but apparently the matcha is good.
Isn't that the name of the Avatar people?
I don't know, I feel like it's so long since I've seen Avatar. I feel like I saw the second one, but I don't think it was as good.
The water one?
Oh yeah, we did see that.
Yeah, it was good.
I have this thing with movies where I have like movie amnesia.
It's my dream to have movie amnesia. If I could take that off you and
it's like a superpower.
Yeah, just watch Interstellar every single day for the rest of my life. I don't think I'd ever go outside.
When we were doing long distance and I was moving to America, Will had to go back to LA about a week or two before I did for a work thing. So I was packing at home, like all my apartment up and everything by myself. I put on this TV series and I watched the entire thing. So we're talking like 8 episodes of this season of the show. And the whole time I was like, this show is so predictable. Yeah. I feel like I know exactly what's going to happen. But like,
I remember you were calling me and saying, I'm so good at predicting TV shows.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I bet this is going to happen. Oh, look, it happened.
I kept watching because I was just packing. So it didn't have to be like Oscar worthy or anything like that. And then I realized when I showed you what it was that we had literally watched that entire show together, the whole season. So I just
like not even long
it.
before that. I think maybe like 2 months before that.
Yeah. So it was like a wasted 8 hours of my entire life. But
that's just because your brain's so full of wellness facts.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm obsessed with this part of Miami. I think it's like a part that a lot of people don't really come to or think of. There are peacocks that like just walk around here too. They sort of just stroll around randomly. I don't know if they're on this street, but we'll probably see some.
So what's on the agenda?
Well, I've quite the to-do list. So this is our little office space. There's still a few things I want to do in this space. I think we probably spend the majority of our time here.
It was the first room we finished because of that.
Yeah.
It was really like,
I mean, it's not finished, close to finished.
First room we worked on.
Yeah, I think it would be really cute to get like a little lantern, and then we want some art or like prints or something for the walls. But has a really good energy in here, which is really, really important to us because this is where we create everything for Mode. And obviously the energy behind that needs to be really good because we're putting these things into the world that are going to be helping people. I think it's cool to be able to spread out your wellness practices so you're not just like burdened with them I don't want to say burden, but it does feel like a burden when your morning to-do list is just so long and you're trying to put in these wellness practices to essentially make you feel better, but it just feels so time-consuming. So today we did one called Trust the Process. Even though I find it hard to trust the process, I choose to love and accept myself. I think the theme of this vlog and like the theme of life at the moment for us is like literally trusting the process. Like, and I think this can happen before like the bigger manifestations come through, or like something that you've been kind of calling in for a little while. And it's almost like you can feel it sort of brewing, but it's like this quiet in between time where you really get challenged to completely trust and have the faith and the certainty that it's going to work out. And I find this tapping just really gets me in like the right headspace for that if I feel like a little bit wobbly in my trust of it happening.
Yeah, if you're getting like antsy or worried about how it's going to calm or anything like that, it's really good to just like snap you out of it.
We have a pretty extensive to-do list at the moment. We're launching a body course for Mode. I don't think I've told anyone about this except for our Mode members. We like to include everyone in our community in putting in some input and requests and different things that they'd like to see in what we're creating for the platform. And this Mode of body course is something that I wanted to do for literally years, and it was even kind of like a pre-Mode idea.
It's probably the first idea we had to launch around like your transformation and what you went through and like your hormonal journey and so many different things.
Yeah. And like the approach that we're taking is really different, and it's like the foundation of my own transformation. And we've seen transformations happening within the community too, just from doing like the body meditation we already have. And there's a few EFTs on like manifesting your dream body and energetic weight loss and all of that. So it'll be really cool to get this happening. But we've given ourselves a deadline because you want to launch things at the time that people are going to be the most receptive to them, or actually want to put in the time and energy into the practices. So we basically have 1 month to create everything. When you have like a bigger dream or like something that you're working towards, and like for us right now, I would suppose that dream is like the getting the body out into the world finally after all of these years. But then obviously there are bigger and bigger dreams that sort of fits into. But let's say that's the big dream. It can feel so daunting when you're just looking at it and it's like up here. So it really is the small daily actions that get you there. And I think all of these nervous system regulation practices and these things that sort of get you in the right headspace every single day make it easier to show up and be consistent. And it all adds up. Like it really does.
Yeah, and like some days, like being consistent is taking a day off because you need it, or like resting, just like you did, like we did this morning, like resting a little bit, going for a walk, feeling like you've had a bit of a day off, and then when you come back in, it's much easier.
And also like this is what I used to do. Like I would write an entire day off if I felt like tired. I'd be like, okay, well, I guess I have to take a day off because I just don't have the energy to work today. I'm a projector in human design, and like it honestly happens quite often. So instead of like just completely going, okay, my whole day is focused on resting or relaxing, or my whole day is focused on working, if you do have the luxury of, or like it's not really a luxury, more like the freedom, I suppose, to do your own schedule, or even if you're doing this on the weekend, like just changing my mindset from an all or nothing approach in every area of my life has been so helpful, especially when it comes to like splitting the day up with self-care and work. Like there is room for both. And it doesn't matter if you had to like extend one or extend the other. They can both work together and both make each other better. But we better get onto it. Otherwise we will run out of time. Yeah. So let's get going.
Okay.